So WNBA free agency is officially underway, Annie. So when you see these names and the options that the Sky have, what do you think that they're cooking up?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Angel and Camilla are very interesting pieces. And when you're talking about, getting the right players in here, there is intrigue when you have young core pieces like that, because you could be part of developing them and developing towards a title contending season. But the reality is the Sky are still very far from that.
Angel Reese's goal to create a powerhouse team with the Chicago Sky hit major roadblocks, making for a difficult offseason. Despite her best efforts, the team couldn't land top free agents, leading to key players leaving and causing some internal issues.
You're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come soon.
What was meant to be a fresh start for Chicago basketball has fallen apart before it even got going. But why? I dug into it and found the answers. Problems with the facilities, troubling reports from the locker room, and agents actively pushing players to look elsewhere. The WNBA shakeup no one expected is happening now.
The whole city is obsessed with you.
I know. I love it
all
here.
the time.
I feel like Baltimore here. I love it here. It does.
Kind of. A little bit, little DMV action.
Yeah.
But Chicago is a number 3 market in the country.
Really?
It's New York, LA, and then Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, y'all have everything. I'm not gonna lie, y'all have everything here. It's nothing here that I'm like, oh, I gotta go to a different city for it. Everything has been here.
Angel Reese boldly announced she was creating a powerhouse in Chicago, saying every player would want to join. But right now, the roster looks pretty bare, like an empty concession stand after the game ends. The confident rookie wasn't just hopeful about landing top players. She was all but guaranteeing it on her podcasts, saying, "You won't get told no. You'll get more yeses than nos." But when free agency started, reality hit hard, and things didn't go as expected.
The Chicago Sky organization is a disaster. And the one good thing they have might be, the one good thing they have might be number 5 right there. So obviously she's the face of the franchise right now, which is why she's there. But the one decent thing they have is Angel Reese, which is they have a power forward who can play on any given day at the level of a top 5 or 6 at their position.
The difference was striking. While other teams were posting celebratory updates on Instagram, Twitter, and their websites, Chicago's social media went completely silent. No welcome videos, no press releases, not even a simple graphic. The Sky's online presence disappeared like a last-second shot that misses the mark. Their silence was as noticeable as an empty arena during what should have been a playoff celebration.
They have a mid-pack power forward as a rookie, which is really hard to do considering it's the best position in the WNBA. And that is going to be the building block. That's going to be the first thing. You hope that they hope that they get something in the draft right now. They're not going to be a free agent destination anytime soon. And this is an organization where Elena Deladon wanted out. Candace Parker walked. Sylvia Fowles wanted out. Emma Mason-Man just never went back to the WNBA. That's how bad it was. She just decided, nah, I'm good.
Why is everyone looking to leave the Chicago Sky so quickly? Let's look at the star-studded players available in free agency. Game changers who could have turned any team around. Kelsey Plum, a sharpshooter with a championship mindset. Jewel Lloyd, a scoring machine and Chicago native. Brittany Griner, a dominant force in the paint. Alyssa Thomas, a versatile forward who can do it all. Satu Sabally, one of the league's most well-rounded players. And Kelsey Mitchell, an offensive powerhouse. With talent like that, you'd think at least one would be interested in teaming up with Angel Reese in Chicago, the 3rd largest market in the country. But not a single one did. Not one. It's like having 6 lottery tickets and not matching a single number. The odds of that happening by chance are practically 0, which means there's something else at play.
What is going on in Chicago? I genuinely think if they had decided to make a documentary on the current Chicago Sky season, it would be the greatest sports documentary of all time. What is happening?
Can you picture Angel Reese sitting there, scrolling through Instagram, watching announcement after announcement of these stars signing with every team but Chicago? I can imagine her holding her phone, sending out those, "Hey, let's talk about next season" texts, only to have them go unanswered or receive polite replies saying they're going in a different direction. Meanwhile, her competitors are celebrating with champagne, already planning their championship runs with their new signings.
Want to win? Angel Reese wants to win. This team is not even close. They don't have the future prospects. As good as Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso is, they're too far away from being like a team to compete at the highest level because they don't play, not that they don't play well together, they don't fit together.
If that wasn't concerning enough, the Sky couldn't even keep their own leading scorer, Kennedy Carter, who played a huge role in the team's offense last season. She didn't even get a qualifying offer. The front office's decision spoke volumes when they said,
Kennedy had an incredible season for us last year, says the GM. She's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level in our league. We absolutely appreciate all she did for our team last year. However, we've made changes to our staff and we'll make changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent.
In other words, the message was clear. We're not even interested in keeping our best players, let alone bringing in new ones. Think about what that says to potential free agents. It's like a bright neon sign flashing, saying your job security here doesn't exist, no matter how well you play. What a light player would want to sign up for that? This isn't bad luck or a coincidence. When every top free agent takes one look and says, no thanks, it's not random. It's a clear sign that something is seriously wrong within the organization.
Obviously, look, they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding. The problem is they don't own their pick. So if the Chicago Sky run it back, they're probably not making the playoffs next year. Look, I think there's going to be an improvement from Angel Reese. I think it's going to be an improvement from Cardoso. But that team with no Kennedy Carter, it's going to be real tough to get any offensive power.
Chicago should have every edge in attracting talent. They're in a major market with huge marketing opportunities. Plus, they've got one of the most visible and marketable rookies in Angel Reese, who brings instant media attention. On top of that, Chicago has a rich basketball culture in a city that loves its sports. And yet, despite all these advantages, they couldn't land a single all-star caliber free agent. With everything going for them, you'd think stars would be eager to team up with Angel Reese, right? But when you look at where these top free agents actually went, it's a story more surprising than any stat sheet. These players chose teams that performed worse last season over joining the Sky. And this isn't a coincidence. It shows exactly what today's WNBA stars really value.
Seattle Storm are sending Jewel Lloyd to the Las Vegas Aces in a blockbuster three-team trade that moves Kelsey Plum to the LA Sparks. That's according to ESPN. As part of the deal, Seattle receives the second pick in this year's WNBA draft from LA in exchange for the Storm's number 9 pick, while the Aces also receive the 13th pick, a second-round selection from the Sparks.
Kelsey Plum, for example, heading to the Los Angeles Sparks, a team that actually had a worse record than Chicago. Think about that for a moment. Plum chose a team that struggled more than the Sky, but what they offered was strong coaching and organizational stability. The same story goes for Jewel Lloyd, a Chicago native. She took one look at what was going on with the Sky and quickly decided her championship dreams would be better fulfilled elsewhere. Both of these stars saw something beyond the numbers, a culture of consistency and clear direction, something Chicago just couldn't offer.
According to WNBA Insider, that Illinois native Jewel Lloyd will not be going to Chicago Sky. And obviously, they didn't keep Kennedy Carter. And it's looking like one player, obviously, that's been in Chicago across her careers because of her Illinois roots is Seattle Storm guard Jewel Lloyd, who was the leading scorer last season, not this season.
It's like these players were picking lottery tickets, but instead of relying on random chance, they knew exactly which organizations had the winning numbers for their careers. Can a team's off-court issues really cost them championships? These free agents certainly think so. The pattern is clear across the league. Brittany Griner chose the Atlanta Dream, while Elisa Thomas went to Phoenix to join Satu Sabally. Each player deliberately picked teams with strong leadership and winning cultures, steering clear of the instability unfolding in Chicago. The contrast is clear. These destination teams may not have Chicago's market advantages, but they offer something players clearly value more: organizational competence.
You gotta know, Alyssa Thomas, Natasha Cloud, Brittany Griner. Let's start with Brittany Griner, joining Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard in Atlanta. Dream team? Brittany Griner was drafted to Phoenix in 2013, so it's kind of about time, and I'm so excited to see what Atlanta turns around this next season, because they really need her. Phoenix is also losing Natasha Cloud and Beck Allen, along with the number 12 pick overall in this year's draft, to Connecticut. Connecticut is giving up the triple-double queen, Alyssa Thomas, and Ty Harris.
What's happening with the Indiana Fever might be the most eye-opening of all. While Chicago got ghosted by every all-star free agent, Indiana built a real contender around Caitlin Clark. They brought in proven veterans like Natasha Howard, Dana Bonner, Sydney Colson, and Sophie Cunningham. They even managed to re-sign their star, Kelsey Mitchell. Meanwhile, Chicago couldn't even hold on to their leading scorer.
The Fever did not come to play. They are on a mission to win now, like 2025 championship season incoming. They were so quiet during free agency. And in the past 24 hours, boom, boom, boom. Re-signed Kelsey Mitchell to a max deal. Picked up Natasha Howard, bringing her back to the Indiana Fever, where she was originally drafted. And then they just announced a three-way trade, sending Alyssa Smith to Dallas and Sophie Cunningham coming to the Fever.
That's not all. The Fever also managed to steal Brianna Turner, who was Angel Reese's own teammate. This highlights the competitive edge Indiana gained while Chicago stayed stuck. In just one off-season, the Fever went from relying on Caitlin Clark and rookies to building a roster ready to make a serious playoff run.
Are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any sense.